plans to decorate for Halloween, and then I just didn't, so. Yeah, it just, all my stuff was in the attic and I didn't want to go up there. And I thought to send someone else up there. All right, here we go. Y'all will notice Zoom is open, but it's only because I have a couple kids in ISS that I'm recording the notes for so that I can send it to them. So there's no one in the Zoom. You don't have to be in the Zoom, but that's fine. Okay, so today we are doing one more day of factoring. Okay, so this is for today is Monday. Okay, then on Wednesday, we're gonna review. Specifically, we're reviewing unit 4, which is kind of like just what we've been doing. Then on Friday, you have your next test. Okay.
Wait, what day do we have off?
Great question. So after this weekend, you have Monday and Tuesday off. So after this weekend, you'll have, or after Friday, you'll have a 4-day weekend. And they're teacher work days, so we're still here, just y'all aren't here. Okay? So we're doing one more day of notes and practice today, then Wednesday's review, then Friday's test, then 4-day weekend. Okay, so let's see what we remember from last week.
Wait, so like what specific day will we have off?
You have Monday, Tuesday off next week. So you'll have your normal Saturday, Sunday, and then no school Monday, Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah, that's it.
Very lit, you might say. Okay, here we go. Look at number 1, label your A, B, C. Hopefully we remember this. Okay, A, B, C. Remember that if your A is not there, that means it's a 1. Draw me a big X here. Remember, the air conditioner goes in the attic. The basement goes on bottom. Now, if your A is a 1 and your C is a -40, remember you're multiplying those. So what is 1 times -40? Okay, good. 1 times -40 is -40. So I'm going to put that at the top. And then what is my basement number or my B to go in the bottom? -6. Okay, and good, we said -6 because you want to take that sign with it. Okay, then we're going to go through and list all the factors that will times to 40. Remember, you can get this list in your calculator, so hit Y equals. Okay, then remember, you're not going to put the negative, just put the number over X like that. 40 over X like that to get your list. Okay, so type it in now, please. Y equals 40 over X. And then remember, we're only going to pick the partners where they're both whole numbers. So 40 over X, second graph. Okay, 1 and 40. What's my next partner? Okay, good. So 1, 40. 2 and 20. Do I want 3? No, because it's with 13.3. We don't want any decimals. What about 4 and 10? Yeah. We want it. And then last one would be 5 and 8. Now let's talk about how do I know that 5 and 8 are the last partner? Because if I keep scrolling down, they're all decimals until what? And I already have 8 and 5. That's a repeat. So once you hit your first repeat, you're done with your list. Okay, from here, if the top number is negative, which this one is, then you want to subtract to equal the bottom number. So I'm trying to get a 6. Look through those partners. Which of those will minus to give me 6? The 4 and the 10. Will you circle them, please? Okay, now one more thing we talked about. 10 minus 4 is 6, but what do I want here? And if it's negative, you're gonna put the negative on the bigger number. If you wanna keep your basement positive, you're gonna put the negative on the smaller number. So I'm gonna place, if I want this 6 to stay negative, I'm gonna put the negative here. Then remember those numbers go into parentheses with your x. So it'd be x with a positive 4. And x with a minus 10. Question, will we need to slide and divide here? Or can we take the A1 shortcut and be done? Okay, because what's my A? A 1. Anytime your A is a 1, you don't have to slide and divide, whatever you get is your answer. Does that make sense? So you would be done with number 1. Okay, then for number 2, I actually want that to be a slide and divide, so I'm gonna change the question. Let's make it a 3a squared plus, let's make that a 10, and let's make this a minus, let's do 7. So I'm gonna rewrite it, so it'll be 3a squared minus 7a plus 10. Okay, first thing I want you to do, label your ABC. Then set up your X, air conditioner goes in the attic, B goes in the basement. So this is my A, B, C. Okay, my A is a 3. My C is a 10. What is, oh wait, actually make this a minus 10, sorry. Okay, my C is a minus 10. So what is my AC number this time? 3 times negative 10 is negative 30. But then remember, when you put this in the calculator, you don't need the negative. You're just gonna put 30 divided by X. Okay, 30 divided by X. Then I'm gonna go into my table and I'm gonna pick all the partners that times to 30. So I have 1 and 30. What's my next partner? 2, 15. Next one, 3 and 10. And then I've got a whole bunch of decimals. 5 and 6, it looks like is the last one. Yeah, because then it repeats, that's right. Okay, is this an add or a subtract chart? Look at your AC. AC is negative, so am I adding or subtracting? Subtracting, and what is my B number that I'm trying to get? Negative 7. So which of those numbers will minus to 7? 3 and 10. And then if I want to keep my basement negative, where do I put it? On the smaller number or the bigger number? Bigger, so I'm going to put it on the 10 side. Okay, from here, you're gonna put one of the letter with each number in parentheses. But notice last time it was an X, what's the letter this time? An A. So instead of putting X plus 3, I'm gonna put A plus 3. And then A minus 10. Okay, question, can I skip, slide and divide like I did last time? No, because what's my A now? 3. And if A is a 3, that's when you have to slide and divide. Or if it's any number other than just the 1. So let's do our slide and divide. Over 3 over 3. Can my first number slide or divide? If it's yes, because it's 3 divided by 3. What is that? So this is gonna go to an A plus 1. This one was a divide. Okay, and then look at your second parentheses, can 10 divide by 3? Then instead of a divide, I'm gonna slide, so it would be a 3a minus 10. Okay, does that make sense? We remember that from last week? Okay. We're gonna add just one more step to that. Okay, so if you'll look at the next two examples, both of these have what's called a GCF. You are always going to divide a GCF out before you factor. Okay, and then do we know what GCF stands for? That's okay, it's right here. Greatest common factor, and now let's fill in the blank. A greatest common factor is the biggest number that all the terms can divide by. So what a greatest common factor is when all your numbers can divide by the same thing. Okay, but all of them have to divide. So look at number 3. What number can all of these divide by? Are they all even? Then what can they all divide by? 2. But every single number, the A, the B, and the C have to be able to divide. So I'm gonna put right here, divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. So what is my 4x squared now? Divide them. 2x squared. 2x squared. What is my 22x in the middle now if I divide it by 2? And 11x. And then 18 divided by 2 here is a plus 9. Okay, so we divided the 2 out first because everybody could divide. Now we're ready to do our ABC. So set up your little chart here. Okay, AC at the top, B at the bottom. What is my AC gonna be if my A is a 2 and my C is a 9? Remember you're multiplying. So it'd be 18. Okay, 2 times 9 gives me 18. Okay, set up your chart in the calculator, please. So it'd be 18 over X. And then you're only listing the whole numbers. Turn these on, push right equals, please, guys. Y equals, clear that out, put 18 divided by X. And X is up here. Yeah, and then second graph. So 18. And then divide, sorry, by. And then hit second. And then okay, that's okay. Let it finish and then hit second. So that you're looking at this. And then you only want the positives where there's no decimals. Okay, so if I'm looking at my chart, I see 1 and 18. What's the next partner? 2 and 9. Okay, 3 and 6. And then any others? No. Now, out of those choices, is this an add or a subtract chart? Because the addict's what? Positive. If the addict was a minus, we'd be subtracting. So which of these are gonna add? So what's my B? 11. An 11 in the middle. So if I want numbers that add to 11, what am I trying to pick here? 2 and 9. 2 and 9. Then remember, my 2 and my 9 end up in parentheses with an X. They each get 1. Will I need to slide and divide, or can I A1 shortcut it be done? Gotta slide and divide with what A? 2. So I'll do over 2 over 2. Remember, every time at least one of them should divide. And then the other one should slide. So which one will be my slide here? 2 divided by 2, I can divide, what's that? 1. And then what will my slide have to be? 2x plus 9. So remember, if it can't divide, then that's when you would slide. Okay? All right, take a look at number 4. This is the last example. Okay, what can all of those divide by? 2. 2. Okay, so go ahead and do it. So if I have 20 divided by 2, what do I get? What's my new front number? Okay, 10. Very good. Okay, then my next number was a 28. I have to divide that by 2. What do I get? 14. And then my last number was a 24 divided by 2. 12. Okay, now look at that. You can only ABC when they can't divide by the same thing. Are these all still even? Yes. Then you gotta divide by 2 again. Now, could it also be a different number other than 2? Sure. Okay, but you wanna look at the numbers and see, can these all divide by the same thing? Because if they can, you wanna do that first. So we're gonna divide these all by 2 again until they're not all dividing by the same. So now my 10 divided by 2 is a what? 5a. 5a squared, what's in the middle now? 7a. 7a. Last one? 6. Minus 6. And now look at those. Can 5, 7, and 6 all divide by the same thing? No. Then that's when you know, okay, I'm ready to ABC and do my little X. Okay? And then I feel like we've done a bunch of those. Are y'all ready to go to the practice? Or do we want to finish this one? We'll finish this one. Okay. Uh-huh. So what would my AC number be? If I do 5 times -6, -30. And then my basement number is the -7 from the middle. And then remember, in the calculator, you don't have to put the negative in the list. You just open the list up regular. And then I'm gonna kind of cheat on number 2. Do y'all remember we had a 30? So I'm just gonna steal that same list. So it's 1 and 30, 2, 15, 3, 10, 5, 6. Okay, now my 7 is what kind of 7 in the basement? Negative. Then do I want to put the number on the bigger number, negative on the bigger number, or the smaller number? Bigger. And which of these will minus the 7? 10 and 3. Negative on the bigger number. Remember, in this case, my letter is not an X, it's an A, but that's fine. You work it the same. You'll do an A with a +3 and an A with a -10. Am I done? A1 shortcut? No, what's my A this time? It was a 5, then I have to slide and divide. So I'm going to divide by 5 on both. And if it can't divide, then I'll slide. So which one of those will be the slider? The 3 on top or the 10 on top? 3. The 3 will have to slide and be a 5a plus 3. 5x. Oh yeah, because it's an A, but it's a 10. And then for the second one, 10 divided by 5, what's that? Divide. So it'd be 2. Make sense? Okay. All right, so what I'm gonna give you now is your practice. And we'll do one of them together that has a GCF, and then y'all will finish with, you can work with the people at your team. Valerie, Scarlett, you want me to do, you wanna move with somebody? Or are you doing your own thing? Okay, look at your sheet. There are no GCFs on the first page, so will you just look at the back? Okay, which one of those can divide all by the same thing where it's not a 2? Number 12? Okay, good. Number 12 will work. What can all the numbers divide by? 3. So it doesn't have to be a 2. So for number 12, we're going to divide every single number by 3 first. So I'm going to do divide by 3, 3, 3. So my front number now is a what if it's 3 divided by 3? 1x squared. Then 3 divided by 3 is another 1x in the middle. And then what about 6 divided by 3 here? 2. So remember, if there's a GCF, you have to do that first. Okay. Label your ABC, set up your chart. Remember, air conditioner in the top, basement in the bottom. What will my air conditioner number be this time? Because it's 1 times -2, that's going to stay a -2. Put your 2 over x in your calculator to get your list. And you're going to notice that for this one, you only have one partner. What is it? Okay, 1 and 2. Because then what's the very next partner after 1, 2? 2, 1, that's a repeat. Okay, from there, is this an add or a subtract chart? Subtract. And what do I want it to be? What's my basement number? It's a -1 in the middle. So if I only have one set of partners, we know those are our guys, but are we going to put the negative on the smaller number or the bigger number? Bigger. So it'll be x with a +1 and x with a -2. Will we need to slide and divide here, or can we A1 shortcut? Okay, because my A was a 1. Whenever your A is a 1, you're done. Okay? Now, there's actually one thing that I forgot to put on your notes. Technically, if you divide that 3 out at the beginning, it should still be part of your answer. So I want you to just put your GCF here. So what do we divide by at the beginning? Then put the 3 in the front. Okay. Yeah, so I forgot to do that on your notes. So let's go back and fix that real quick before you finish. So for number 3 on your notes, what did we divide by? A 2, then you should have a 2 in front here. Now, this is a little tricky, but on number 4, what did we divide out? A 2 and then a 2 again. So what is 2 times 2? 4. Yeah. So think about if you divide by 2 twice, that's really like you had a 4. 2 divided by 2 would be 1.
Would be 1.
But you're multiplying it because we divided 2 twice. So we basically divided by 4. If that makes sense. Okay, you got it? You can do it? Then review on Wednesday, test on Friday, then 4-day weekend. You just got to make it there.